Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
So here we are. We're heading to the last leg of our trip. We're heading to Abingdon, Virginia, in the southwest part of the state of Virginia.
Yes.
And we're going to be there from today until the 20th of September.
Yes.
And what we're going to do is a revival of sorts. There's probably about 1,000 men and women in this place we're going to. And by the time we leave, we will have brought the gospel message to all of them through song, through worship, through testimony. And we're going to pray for these people who want to be prayed for. You know, the thing is I can remember when I was getting in trouble and I laughed at this stuff. I thought it was a joke. You know, I laughed at people of faith. And I just couldn't believe how people could just be so darn gullible as to believe in something they couldn't see. And then I heard those words, "How's it feel, tough guy?" And that kind of changed everything in my life. Even moving forward from then, even when I didn't, kind of walk as a Christian. So, look, all we can do is bring the truth to somebody. And then it's up to them to accept it, reject it, do what they want to do with it. But when I leave there this week, they're not going to be able to say, somebody never told me the truth. I didn't know the truth. I didn't know about Jesus Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life, by the way. So we're looking forward to this.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a good time. We have, Dr. Kale is my surgeon for a very long time. His daughter goes to Liberty University. I want to say she's 22, right? She's probably the age I was when I first got arrested.
She's younger.
I don't think so. I think she's around 22. And it doesn't matter anyway. She's around the age I was when I went to prison. And it's just interesting how the Lord has put on her heart to want to be involved in prison ministry when nothing in her life has ever, reflected that kind of life, an example. And so we're happy to have her with us.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it's something that she is going to enjoy doing. And I think it, I think for most people, when they think about prison ministry, they get this idea in their head, and then when they come in, it's very, very different than what they think. And they're very touched, and they're very moved by what goes on. And I think, that our approach to prison, which has become, a kitchen table conversation. Lester Holt just did a big, what do you want to call it, documentary on that, from Angola and Sing Sing. And I think people are understanding that this punitive aspect, this retribution, an eye for an eye, really isn't working, and it's never really going to work. And so what I would just point out about what Lester Holt did in terms of, I thought he did a pretty good job. I kind of agreed with a lot of what was said. I think, I just agree with a lot of what they said. I'm not going to get into it, but what was left out is that, and it's pretty big.
It is big.
When you talk about Angola being the bloodiest prison in America, being now one of the safest in America, they said they started programs. Well, they started programs, but specifically what, they started was a seminary program. And why is that important? Because it's about faith. It's about moral responsibility and moral conviction. And that program was started by Burl Cain. And to talk about, programs as if the state did something, because the state did nothing. You need to be clear on that. The government, the state, they did nothing. Burl Cain brought in the Southern Baptist, and I'm sorry if I'm getting passionate about that, but I don't like the spin on this.
Right.
Burl Cain brought in the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary, and on the dime of other people, not even the state, the seminary program turned that prison around. So it wasn't educate. It wasn't like, the state brought in programs of education and rehabilitation, and that's what started this big change at Angola.
Yeah.
What started the big change at Angola was the joining together, Burl Cain with this seminary school, and believing that by raising up inmate pastors, they could change the culture of violence in that prison, and ultimately that's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's powerful what's taking place. Heidi and I have everything you saw in that video. We've walked down those corridors in that prison. We've
Right.
been into the hospice. We've been into the infirmary. We've seen these men. We saw the dog program, right? The puppies walking through the prison. But be clear that Jesus Christ
Right.
changed the culture of violence in that prison. And now those men who are serving life sentences, who have become pastors and are living with their congregation, they have become the mentors to the men, coming in there with these life sentences. And it's just a very power example of what faith can do.
Yeah, and to talk about the success of Angola without even mentioning Burl Cain's name, or they mentioned for a half a second about one of the guys who ended up getting paroled attending a seminary.
It's just a slant.
It's just it's like talking about New York City and not mentioning the Statue of Liberty
Or the trade tower.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like Freedom Towers.
Yeah, it was just a big thing that they didn't even touch on. So but anyway, we're excited.
And we're part of that. We're in the middle of that as we travel the country, bringing that kind of change to prison and to men and women, and that kind of hope and encouragement.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. So we just want to give a really big shout out to Tim and Wanda. I don't know if I'm pronouncing their name right, Carrera.
Yeah.
But we haven't even met this couple before, and they are hosting us for the next 2 weeks at their home.
Don't answer it. Don't do it.
Oh, guess what? It's Caitlin calling.
Oh,
we'll call you back.
Hi, Caitlin.
So, right, exactly. So, this is how God provides for us. This is how the body of Christ helps one another. But I am going to say, it's a humbling part of our
journey,
ministry, but we really need your support still. Like the last 2 weeks of our
I'm a little more direct than Heidi. We have no money.
Right.
Okay.
No, we've really kind of run out of money now, and the last 2 weeks that we are working on, we're working in prison, so we're not getting paid for anything. People aren't, donating, and and we still have a lot of bills that haven't been paid the last 2 months because we haven't been working. So, so if you are able to, even if it's $10, we have 2,000 people, friends, on Facebook. Although most of them probably won't see this video. But even if everybody donated $10, we would be fine. So we're just asking.
Here's the thing. If you see what's going on with prison reform, if you value what we're doing, we're asking you to partner with us financially to help us accomplish what it is we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do is very simple: bring hope and encouragement to men and women serving time in prison. We're helping to bring Christ-centered, faith-based programs to men and women serving time in prison, and we're helping to advocate for reform in prisons across America.
Yeah.
And I would encourage you to go to my Facebook page and look at some of the posts that I've put on there recently about the way inmates are living, the way inmates are being treated, the conditions they're living in. And listen, they're not, they are the offenders of the crime. And we can't tolerate lawlessness, but there's also got to be a component of humanity in regards to the way we treat the people we're calling criminals. Because I'm going to tell you something, quite frankly, the way that they're being treated is criminal. So there's this, there's kind of this scenario going on where, you get these guys, they commit these crimes, they go to prison, and somewhere along the way they become a victim. And they become a victim because of the way they're treated, the conditions they're living in, and nothing good can come from it. We don't advocate for lawlessness. People need to be held accountable.
Right.
I always say I deserve to go to prison, but what goes on in these places, I don't think most people would even believe.
Yeah. So we would appreciate any type of partnership with you, whether it be one time or monthly. I'm going to post our website page for our donate page. But we would just we really need your financial support over the next couple of weeks. And then also, please don't assume that you've liked our page, because believe it or not, we've actually had people who've been friends with us and very supportive of our ministry for several years, only to find out that they've never liked our page. So Prisoner of Hope Ministries on Facebook, if you would go ahead and like that, and share it on your page or with people that you know are like-minded. And here's our phone is freezing up again.
Perfect.
And also go to YouTube, Prisoner of Hope Ministries, and subscribe. You don't need a channel. Some people think that they need a channel to subscribe. You just need an email, and that would be helpful too. And I think that's about it. So,
Yeah,
and your prayers.
Your prayers, but
Yeah,
we're gonna be, we're gonna be touching base probably every day now.
Yep.
Because we're gonna be inside. Well, tomorrow we're gonna meet with the chaplain. We might go inside tomorrow. That's yet to be seen. But certainly Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday we have events, and then Monday we're gonna be in the prison all day. I have a recovery event at night. And then we'll be in the jail for the rest of the week. So we'll be in touch with you, even if it's just a short 2-minute thing.
Yep.
Which we seem to find difficult to do. 2 minutes.
All right. We love you guys.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for everything.
Bye-bye.
Bye.